Guess who purchased more perennials? Me. Hang on, let me fix my tripod. Okay, today in the garden, I'll crouch down my tripod. Today in the garden, I will give you a little cottage plant haul. So my front garden, I have a long narrow side border because I have a weird kind of like entrance, like a side entrance and this like laneway. And you would have saw in a previous video I have some containers at the door. They've actually grown a bit. There's been loads of rain this week, followed by warm kind of weather, well, you know, mild. Everything has just been like, oh, lovely drink and let's bloom, which is amazing. So the front side border doesn't have, I extended it out slightly last October, or was it like September? I don't think I filmed it. I just extended it out so it's all the one length. And in it is roses. I put in 2 hydrangea Annabelles. I have a hydrangea runaway bride. I have, the border itself goes from shade into semi-shade, full sun towards the end. And I put in the hydrangea Annabelle as my kind of shrub structure that's starting to grow, which is great. And it was actually, I think it was good that I planted it in like last September. Gave it a little prune there a couple of weeks ago and it's starting to grow. So it's like it kind of had winter to settle its roots in or something. So I'm going to show you the cottage garden plants that I ordered. I've got some ACHILLEAs, some AQUILEGIA, got some more VERBENAs, and my goal is height and fullness. So I also spent, I think this plant order was like about €150. But I don't mind buying perennials because this time next year, or when they're a bit more established, I can divide them. Perennials equals more plants. I can take cuttings from them, collect seed. I did try last year to grow some perennials from seed and I was semi-successful. The dahlias, they weren't amazing in their first year, but I've noticed that the ones I had planted from seed last year have come back. And delphiniums, and the delphiniums are in their second year and you can see that they're much better. But I remember Monty Don at Gardener's World was growing perennials from seed and he was saying it can take up to 3 years for them to be, you know, a strong plant. So my goal is, I don't mind spending with my intention to divide them. So the likes of the hardy geraniums that I had bought and planted earlier this season, this time next year, spring, I'll divide them, more plants. So that's kind of like my goal because gardening can be expensive, but I like to spend on the perennials and then just grow the annuals from seed. So the plants I got, I want to add height because and also my style is like, it can be a bit wild, it can be a bit cottagey. It doesn't have to be perfectly structured. If anything, I prefer it when it's not too like a perfect border, but I do want to have colour and height. And the plants I got are like mid-summer to late summer, early autumn flowering. So they'll take up, you know, that gap. So at the moment there is daffodils that have got their seed heads on them. I'm just going to chop the seed heads off and I'll plant around them daffodils, but with the intention of them daffodils will be cut back in a few weeks and then these guys will grow up. So it's all learning. My biggest mistake, not mistake, lesson, because we make mistakes and we learn the lesson. So my biggest lesson has been heights. So heights and fullness. And like I would stick something that would only grow this big on the back of a border and it would be completely drowned out by what's around it. But the great thing is you can move them. So I sometimes see people in the comments, oh, that's planted too close to that. Totally fine. Get the shovel out and move it next year, or just watch how it is. If you think it's a bit close, it's a bit tight, or it's a bit far away, move them. Move them. Your garden can be, it doesn't have to be like permanent. You can dig things up and move them. So with that being said, also, first of all, I need my apron. I have no wheelbarrow today because Karen, it might be in her garden video last week, I'm not sure. I gave her a lend of my wheelbarrow because she was digging her side border and she had ordered, I think, like a ton of soil and mulch and stuff. So I was like, girl, I have the wheelbarrow for you. So it fitted in her car. I didn't think it would. So Karen has my wheelbarrow, so I'll have to, I don't need my wheelbarrow, but it comes in handy when you want to just wheel things out. I love that old barrow. Anyway, I'm gonna show you. Sorry, I'm just putting my apron on. I will show you what I bought, and what I'll do is, I'll do some like, I'll plant up the border and I'll just put plinky plonk music on, but my goal is I'm gonna lay the plants out by their height, like on the grass, and then I'm gonna stick them in. And when I'm happy enough with the position, then I'll dig them in. So that's generally what I do. Even when it comes to like planting bulbs, I'll put all the bulbs out and then plant them in, and then I'll position the plants and then I'll plant them. So it just means you can move them around until you're happy with like how it's looking. So yeah. Also, that rain did the garden some good. The tulips, I don't know why, I always thought tulips were like an April flower, but it's May and they're looking their best for me. And also, sorry, I'm keeping my voice down because I think my neighbours are in their garden. Can you see these little blue chaps? They've started to come up in this one as well. So this bed of tulips came up first. I just deadheaded them because they were gone. So if you remember, these were white, but like look at these, and all of the pots as well. So these ones have come up quite late, but I did plant this container I think in December. So lots of colour. Loving these like spiky ones. How cool are they? Yeah, lots happening. I'm going to try and keep my camera as steady as possible. So, time for plant haul. I got 2 climbers, 2 evergreen clematis. I'll start with them. Probably not going to plant them today because I need to paint the trellis. But I got a clematis Winter Beauty. I think this has white flowers in winter. I'm going to put this at the end of the wall because I want to cover it. I wanted like an evergreen leaf, but something that would flower as well. This is a spring one. Oh, this is the white one, I think. Yeah, they're both white flowering. Clematis armandii. This is a spring flowering one, but again, it has evergreen foliage. So you can get some evergreen clematis, but all the other ones are deciduous and they will lose their leaves. Okay, so now for my perennials. And yeah, so these are kind of like for that cottage garden kind of vibe. So I have 2, probably not going to say it right, ALCEAs. I have 2 pink and I have 2 white. And on the back, it will say the height. So this is, oh, nice and tall, up to 200 centimeters, and it's hardy to -10. So I have 4 of these. Let's go in here. I think I got 3 echinaceas because I already have 2 echinaceas in this border. They were in pots and I put them in, but I got 3 of them for the front. So Echinacea purpurea, and I got 3 of the same. I did, didn't I? Yeah, 3 kind of pink ones. The ones that I have in the other border are white, and these go nice and tall. And they don't take up, they don't fill the border, but they give a nice like bit of height. So I have 3 echinaceas. Behind here I have 4 AQUILEGIAs. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna just take this out. So I got these. Are they starting to flower? There's some buds on them. So I got 4, yeah, 1, 2, 4 of these, and again for height. So let me find, I think these are 70 centimeters. Yeah, 70 centimeters on these. And did I get all the same color? Yeah, I got 4 pink of them. So that is that tray. Move that over. And then here I got 4 catmints, and I got these for like fullness. These only grow, I think, 50 centimeters on these. Yeah, so 50 centimeters. I do have some catmint in this border, but I just didn't have enough. Actually, the catmint I have in that border I grew from seed, so I just got some more. So I'm going to put these on the edge of the border and dot them out so that they kind of spill over and just give me a bit of fullness. So 4 catmints. These are RUDBECKIAs. So I do have RUDBECKIA already in the bed. I have 2 types, but I just wanted to get 2 more, and these are great for like August, September kind of colour, because I noticed that my border goes a bit sleepy looking then. So these give me up until like a bit of frost. I think September, October, they give me some colour. This guy looks a bit dead, but it's a THALICTRUM. I just got 1 of these. Don't know how tall it's gonna go. It doesn't have its thing. But THALICTRUM. I'm not saying that right. I need to go learn my Latin. These are verbena, but this verbena is Bampton or something. So I do have verbena in the border at the back. Bampton. I think it's in English verbena, and I just got 2 of them. Absolutely love verbena. Again, it gives you colour like August, September, October time, and I find I get like 2 flushes of kind of colour on it. Yeah, butterflies love it, and it goes nice and tall, and it's good at like filling gaps in the border. So I just got 2 of them. Yeah, that's them. And then what else did I get? Oh, this guy. This guy is an ACHILLEA apple blossom, and they said it was gonna flower around about like July time, so it's like a summer one. But what's the height on it? Okay, so this one I think I had gotten for like fullness. It's not height. So this one 35 centimeters high, so it's like it's a small dwarf aster, lots of small half double blue blue to violet to purple flowers decorated with a sunny yellow centre, perfect for sunny perennial borders. So I'm going to put this in the sunny spot, and hopefully it will like fill out and give me lots of blossoms. And that is ACHILLEA. I'm not even going to pronounce this, apple blossom. Also, before we go out and plant, I would just like to show you this chap. Remember last year I thought I killed a fern, and I was quite disappointed because I was like, that was a good €10 I spent. Well, I was just checking on the little woodland area, and I just noticed that he has come back, or she. There is male and female ferns. I don't know which one this is. I think it could be a male one. So not all of them are like evergreen like this guy here, and obviously it was meant to die and come back, but I'm happy to see him. He has come back. Okay, let's have a little look at this, the beginning of the side kind of border, and this gets I'm going to say the most shade of all of it, so semi-shade. It does get sunlight, and it's nice and shaded by these lovely trees, borrowed landscape. I think there's a pigeon up there. So in here we have hardy geranium, lovely purple flower. We have hydrangea runaway bride. We have, this is I think creeping buttercup that I took loads of it out last year. It basically, when it's in here, it doesn't flower. It is a nice kind of, the bees do like it, but the only thing is it did take over and it killed. I had hostas and stuff in here, and it just kind of strangled it, so I'm going to take that out. Just some tulips and daffodils that are just dying off, so I'm going to just bend over that foliage. Heuchera. And this guy it's not a sunflower, could be from the same family, goes really, really tall, the height of the wall, and it has like a lovely yellow flower. So everything is starting to grow. This border gets most of the sun, so you've got hydrangea Annabelle, yellow rose, another hydrangea Annabelle, pink rose, some poppies, all of the flowers that I'm going to plant, and then all of the daffodils that are just dying off, so I'm going to like plant like in between them. Also currently in bloom is this amazing flowering shrub. I have no idea what it's called. I bought it about 5 years ago at Bloom, and yeah, I love it. It looks great this time of year, and then it's just like a normal little bush for the rest of the year. But it is deciduous, it does lose its leaves. I see some hardy geranium poking out in the corner, and then also I have some alliums as well in here. vitamin D or vitamin G, vitamin gardening. I heard that on Gardeners World, didn't I? Also, I don't know if you can see, look at the potato stash. The first early potatoes, and yeah, like good strong stems on them. Oh, can you see? Hang on. Lots of foliage starting to come up. Literally, they were the quickest growing things, and the black bags were really good because they attracted the heat, because they were planted in March. Hang on, I'm gonna move this because I'm getting scorched. Okay, that's better. Look at my face. Every time I finish a good garden session, today's steps, 9,000 steps, and I started gardening about 11:30, 12. Fannied about a bit and I stopped for lunch, and it's 4:15, 9,000 steps. How am I not like that for doing the gardening? Anyway, I want the water, not the tea. Look at I always have muck somewhere. Me little garden wrinkle, mucky hands. That was a good day in the garden. I have been meaning to add plants to that front border, and I order from Tully Nurseries. They're like an Irish nursery, but they're huge, and they're out past the airport, as if you're on the way to kind of like Skerries, and they're on a back road. I think it's called Ballyball, but I pronounce it Ballybogle. Anyway, you can find them, and what I do is I like research-ish roughly, not a pro, what I want, see if they have it, because if you order like enough plants, they'll deliver, and I drive like a little car, it's not practical. So when I have like a big enough order, I just place it, you pay for it, and then it comes a couple of days later. So I just went through the website and literally in alphabetical order and googled the plants then, and I was like, okay, so hopefully that front border, the front section is like partial sun, semi-shade-ish, and then the back section of that border is quite shady. That's why the heuchera is doing really well. The hydrangea runaway bride is doing good as well, because it gets like sun, it doesn't get harsh sun. My back garden, as you can see, that gets loads of sun, but I feel like with my tree in the back, it gives me a bit of shade. And yeah, the magnolia, I keep calling the magnolia a tree, it's more like a shrub. It's a small variety that I got, star magnolia or something. It will like grow big, not as big as the ones you see in the botanic gardens. Like, it's a smaller kind of shrub variety. But I'm waffling now. But I also wanted to say as well, my garden maintenance and how many hours I put into gardening a week is not as bad as like you think. So just if you're like, oh my god, so much effort must like go into kind of like gardening, I just do like a day a week. And maybe this time of year with like the grass cutting and stuff, I'll leave that till like an evening. You guys know I love cutting the grass. It's like therapy. I love coming home. I used to love when I'd be working all day. I'd be working an early shift and I'd come home and I'd just cut the grass. It was like meditation. It was like the end of a day or something. So what I do this time of year is whenever I have jobs like planting or the videos that you see each week, I generally just do my jobs once a week for a couple of hours, like 3 or 4, sometimes 5, but I enjoy it. And then in evening, so like it'll take me about 30 minutes once I'm not fannying about, to cut the grass front and back. So yeah, that's just FYI for anyone wondering like how many hours I put into the garden a week. Let's say, what, 5 or 6? Yeah, but you can break it up as well, because it's nice to cut the grass in the evening. I love cutting the grass in the evening. If there was a job going in the council for cutting grass, I'd apply. Anyway, you'll notice I didn't plant climbers because I have 2 bits of trellis that I bought not that long ago, and I just want to paint them white, the same colour as the wall. And then I'm going to plant the 2 climbers, and I need to make a decision where I want to put the winter one and where I want to put the spring one. So I need to kind of make that decision. Like, my gut is kind of like, I'm going to put the winter beauty has a darker green foliage, and I think I might put it in the shady part of the border, because is it true, clematis, like their feet in the shade and their heads in the sun. So I feel like that will do well because its head will be in the sun but its feet will be shady. Because I'm thinking like in winter I open my front door and there could be a lovely flowering winter clematis, and it'll be like nice to appreciate and see first thing. And then the spring one, I think the front border or the like front bit, because yeah, I'll see that like in spring as well. But I need to just paint the trellis. But that's for another day. That's for another day. We've reached our quota of exercises for today. Right, that's it. Good day in the garden. What are you all getting up to? And I'd love to know. So, okay, we're mid-May now. I would love to know. In March, I was asking people like their different growing zones, and they were saying like, you know, they don't get to garden until like May because they still have like snow and cold snaps, like in the zones of like 1 to 5. A lot of you guys in Canada seem to have like a lot of snow and stuff, so I'd love to know, have you guys been able to start with your gardening? I'm sure you have, and yeah, how is all getting on in the garden? So that's me for this week. I'll chat to you in the comments, and I'll see you in next week's video. Save the date. I have a date for your diary. On May 21st, I will be in the infamous Eason's on O'Connell Street, where I will be doing my very first book signing. So if you would like to pop in, get your copy signed, have the chats, I'll be there 12 o'clock, May 21st, Eason's on O'Connell Street in Dublin, and I'll see you there.